Nol Agkawili, head of his own small real estate company, successful businessman and salesman, loyal husband and family man, outstanding civic-oriented citizen, still active and working at the age of 76. He is also disabled. In a way, Noli Agkawili is special, a self-made man who survived adversities in a rather restrictive society, with an inner strength and an enlightened mind rooted in his upbringing, and a hard-earned education.
You remember a poem called Invictus? Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole. I am the captain of my soul. So I have to focus on being positive. But that's the only way you can fight the negative elements that you encounter while you're growing up.
By the mere fact that my husband is successful is because his parents treated him like all his other brothers and sisters. They never treated him different. And when he would fall, his parents would tell his brothers and sisters, "Don't help him, pick up yourself."
A disabled man confidently faring in the world of able-bodied individuals. Noli made people look beyond his physical incapacities, including his second wife. But while his case is a story of success to inspire others, hundreds of thousands like him, impaired by a physical or mental handicap, struggle to get by. Statistics show the PWD community is one of the marginalized sectors of society. Just getting their count is based on prevalence estimates from international organizations like the World Health Organization and the United Nations. The last census 7 years ago has their number at 1.6% of the population. It is a conservative figure at best, given a not-so-reliable polling method and not including the developmentally disabled.
And if you look at the World Health Organization estimate, there are about 15% in every population who are living with various disabilities. So, as in disability is not only the apparent. There are disabilities that you cannot see.
The number climbs to range between 16 to 20 million for countries in the ASEAN region. To address the growing problem, ASEAN leaders in 2015 declare PWD rights as part of the human and civil rights of persons with all abilities.
Disability should form a part of all programs within the ASEAN, within all ASEAN member countries. That's why we also have the committee on the ASEAN Committee on it's ASEAN Intergovernmental Committee on Human Rights, which also include persons with disabilities, and they have to see to it that the rights of persons with disabilities are always respected within the ASEAN region.
Likewise, 9 of the 10 ASEAN countries have signed the United Nations Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities, with 8 ratifying it, including the Philippines. The CRPD is the first international legally binding treaty designed to protect and promote the human rights of PWDs. 7 of the 10, namely Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Indonesia, Myanmar, Vietnam, and the Philippines guarantee PWD rights in their constitutions and prohibit discrimination against them.
And hopefully we can also come up with activity wherein all ASEAN ministers will discuss about disability, and we intend to include disability within the ASEAN Leaders Declaration.
Later in 2015, ASEAN launched the first regional dialogue in mainstreaming the rights of PWDs in the ASEAN community, and with the support of the Japan-ASEAN Integration Fund. The event, hosted by Thailand, was in celebration of the International Day of PWDs on December 3rd, and with a theme of integration and inclusion to access and empowerment for people of all abilities. 7 months later, the second regional dialogue was held as a follow-up. As one of the leading ASEAN member nations on PWD matters, the Philippines has emphasized its commitment by institutionalizing its recognition of PWD rights through legislation.
That's why we have passed several laws, like we have the Magna Carta of Disabled Person, or RA 7277, which in the whole ASEAN country, we were the first country to pass this law on about persons with disability.
But the problem is not just limited government funding. On the PWD side, there is a lack of willingness to participate or even just be counted. Low self-esteem, cynicism, and despair have kept them living in the shadows for so long. But PWD advocates have not let up to bring the plight of the disabled front and center in the national agenda. Efforts that have led to laws to lighten the weight on their shoulders through tax breaks and 20% discounts on staple food items and services, similar to those given to senior citizens.
Unang-una dyan is Republic Act 10366. Ito yung right to suffrage and accessibility percent. Okay. Tapos na-passed yung Republic Act 10699. Ito naman yung making persons with disability engage in sports to be recognized as national athletes.
For his part, Agkawili has been running the nation's most famous home for the disabled for 15 years now, and has since adapted the ASEAN principles of the PWD's assimilation into the mainstream and their empowerment. Under his helm, Tahanang Walang Hagdan, which is located in Cainta, Rizal, has since transformed into a more empowered institution that works on getting PWDs into the mainstream.
Ang Tahanang Walang Hagdanan was founded by a Belgian nun. So she used to work in the National Orthopedic Hospital, and there she saw the miserable plight of the disabled. When they were discharged, they had nowhere to go, and they don't want to go back to their family because they fear of becoming a burden. So they just lie there, and then they started repairing wheelchairs. So Sister Valeriana saw their skills and started to establish a social sheltered workshop for the disabled.
Tahanang Walang Hagdan has become more than just a shelter for indigent PWDs seeking charity. Steadily, Tahanan has grown through the years and slowly transformed itself from a mere beneficiary into a partner with business and government. It has grown, thanks to benefactors and tie-ups with business, to a self-sustaining skills and livelihood center for the orthopedically impaired. Those who make it inside learn metal and woodcraft skills. Revenue from these two cottage industries, along with its outsourced packaging business, keep its workers busy and alive. Tahanan also has an academic component to it, aimed at developing potential administrators and managers. Tahanan has been acknowledged by the ASEAN as it embodies its objective spirit and declaration of mainstreaming the rights of the disabled. Their needs and rights are identical to those of the abled, and if given the means and tools, have proven themselves to be productive members of society. With a few hundred stay-in and live-out members, the Home for the Physically Impaired has brought hope and given a chance to those who walk on wheels to make a life and earn an honest keep. Through its doors, many have either passed through and moved on, or stayed to lead others and see it through on the road up ahead.
And on the blind, I have been pushing that they be given the opportunity to do call center. Kasi karamihan ng ating nasa sector na blind are more articulate than others, no?
ASEAN's vision, built on the foundation of its three pillars, is predicated on efforts to engage each other in friendship. While more work needs to be done, the ASEAN has done well to pave the way for economic growth enjoyed in recent years by all in the brotherhood. With growth comes inclusivity, so that all sectors and minorities of society may reap its fruits. Along with it, responsibility and goodwill despite our diversity, to make sure that the less privileged and equipped, like the disabled community, are not left behind.